So then I was like, well, at least I didn't fail like Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Right?
I figured they would because Harry Potter.
Oh shit! Well,
Harry Potter.
Welcome to the After 8 Hours, featuring illustrious Mimikyu enthusiast JackJack1620.
Hello, everyone.
And Vulpix's #1 fan in JayTI7N.
It's true.
How's it going?
It is good, man. It's been a week. A lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah, I forgot today was Saturday.
Yeah, dude, I was just sleeping. So
today's Friday, right?
November has just vanished. I'm just like after Halloween and after all that kind of stuff, like November is just supposed to be chill, and I'm loving it so far.
Yeah. What do they call it? No nuance.
No nuance is what it was. That's on right. TikTok.
Please not. All right.
So just no nonsense. Like this is where I think last year they had just called out a bunch of like fuckery. I think we do that with Niantic like all the time.
Oh yeah.
So that's not something that's new to us, but
yeah, you don't have to.
It's whatever.
You don't have to sugarcoat around people. Like
no,
if people get their feelings hurt, they're oftentimes maybe too soft on that subject. But anyway, It's already the middle of fucking November, which is nuts to me. I know I was super busy this week with work stuff, so time just flew by. Like I said, I didn't realize today was Saturday. I was like, oh, yesterday was like Thursday. I was like, no, it wasn't.
And then also, happy Veterans Day for anyone who served.
Yes,
thank you for serving.
Yes, Thursday was a very important day for that. I think we all know veterans in our lives.
It's also Shampson's birthday.
In some really,
yeah,
it fell on his birthday. Wow, there's a lot of birthdays I missed. But anyway, I was gonna say we all knew a bunch of, know a bunch of veterans that are in our lives in some form or fashion. My father served. We have friends that have served.
I have a lot of family that served.
So again, thank you for your sacrifice and doing everything that you could for this country.
Exactly.
That being the case, it's mid-November, which means again no nuance November, but also we're about in the middle of the holy trifecta of holidays. Is that what we call it?
Yes.
So we had Halloween. Halloween was great.
It was.
We actually had fun. We drank a lot.
Yes, we did.
I did drink a lot.
A good amount of soju. There's a good amount of makers. There's a good amount of bourbon and rum and all the other good things.
So your brother Terrell loves making drinks, and so he's just like, "Hey, you want a drink?" I was like, "Slam me, give me another drink, another
one,
exquisite. Give me another, or whatever." So, I didn't count, or I stopped counting after like 12 or 13, but I had a lot to drink.
Oh my god!
Yeah, well,
sweet Jesus.
Okay,
to be fair.
So it was your birthday.
It was
celebration as well.
Yep, I'm 34.
Which we had like a kind of a super soft birthday. If any of you fans of Letterkenny are out there, so we're all in like fucking
flannels and feather boas,
and there's cupcakes.
I had a tiara.
Yeah, you did. It was
dope,
wonderful. And then there was a lot to drink, and then so like I got there, and I started drinking, and then Remy decided he wanted to try to
outdrink you for some reason.
Square up against me in the drinking fashion.
Foolish.
So, I drank. I think I chugged like three or four drinks in a row right then.
Oh damn!
For the rest,
I missed that. I was like,
yeah. So like, Terrell handed me like a giant cup. He's like, "Here you go," and I was like, "Okay." Finished it off.
Bet.
I need another one. Went to the bathroom, and then got another one. And then,
oh my god! Dude.
Got another one, and then. Then we played like King's Cup and all other stuff. So anyway, there's a lot to drink. It was a good time though. It was the first time I'd really gone.
And again, we were very COVID cautious.
Oh, absolutely.
So and it's been a couple weeks. No one from my party got COVID, so I was just like, to party prep.
On that point, it's very important. We've seen some spikes in our area.
And spikes kind of
everywhere.
Oh goodness.
People near and dear to us have caught it. Like Petra. Petra got it. She's vaccinated, but the vaccination definitely helped her mitigate how bad it could be. Versus, her son Jay, friend of ours, he did not get vaccinated, and he got COVID, and then he,
it sparked other ailments.
Yeah, so he got that kind of the rough thick of it. So, that being the case, still very much in the realm of please get vaccinated. If you did Pfizer, they're even offering boosters.
Yeah, so contact medical providers and all that stuff. But just again, we're getting to Justin said, we're in the middle of the trifecta, so Thanksgiving is coming up.
So there's a lot of family gatherings.
We're going to be having Christmas. If you're having a Friendsgiving, if you're doing Festivus, whatever you're doing, if you plan on having people, just try to remember, like, COVID has not just, like, fluttered away. It's still very much here on top of other just sicknesses, like we're flu season, all that other shit. So, like, please just be smart and be safe and be healthy. You know,
yeah, like make good choices. Or not, and not just for yourself, but everyone around you that it'll affect. Like I said, there's a lot of people around, but yeah. So we didn't have anything happen from that party, so we were very COVID conscious. And then kind of moving on into November. Now we're heading towards Thanksgiving already, which is nuts.
Yeah,
but it's fun. I love Thanksgiving. I love to kind of gorge myself silly and enjoy stories, and I actually hang out with some people who are also going to be COVID conscious in this case. It's some wild times ahead. With that, again, looping back in with Pokemon Go, there's been a few things happening. So we have kind of the end of Hoopa's little season of mischief.
Yes. So
in which case they did mention and Hoopa Unbound, and those that don't know, Hoopa has a second form. He's like very large. He's got a bunch of 6 arms ready to square up with whatever. And he can like create these rings, which are like interdimensional travel essentially.
So all those little portals you saw in the sky that would kind of go. That's what Hoopa creates.
Yeah. So and like they had a movie which like he brought in different legendaries from different realms, and they all ended up
just
fighting.
To fuck your day.
Just to fight, just to be mischievous, a season of mischief or whatever.
Dope.
So they mentioned it in game. They mentioned Hoopa Unbound, and then kind of Giovanni's kind of in the working in the shadows, and he's gonna do his thing. He's like after Hoopa. So It would be kind of fun if like maybe Giovanni's the one that has the Hoopa Unbound that we beat, and then we capture, save.
I think it'd be kind of cool if Professor, like, is it Willow? He's like, hey, you got to team up with Giovanni because Unbound Hoopa is getting out of fucking control. So you need to defeat whoever, and then Giovanni's like, hey, let's team up. I'll do this and you do that. Because that could maybe introduce another battle dynamic of tag teaming with other people. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe. For certain things, like what you would do in raids, but you're doing this for like specific shadow bosses.
Yeah, because that would be.
Because I'd be pretty happy with that.
You have a group of 3, and then your partner has a group of 3, so you have a team of 6.
Squads.
I'm here for it. I would very much like to see that.
If 2022 could be squads.
Season of squad.
Yeah, like if you could make a squad, just like how you see Brock missing Ash, and that's like the trio. There's always trios in most shows. If you could do that within Pokemon Go, I'd be pretty fucking stoked.
Yeah, but then it becomes Squid Game.
That's
because you work together as a team for a good chunk of it, and then only one can.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
We'll get to that when we get there. But anyway,
that'd still be dope.
Squads would be great. I think that would be fun. To be a fun evolution on the battle system.
Yes.
In general, just being able to expand teams, expand strategies, and if you can squad with someone, that means it gives me more incentive to go out and do battle shit with my friends, do hood rat shit with my friends. So, yeah, I think that's real cool. So, but yeah, so alongside that, we've had some other newish things happen. So we had the Festival of Lights, in Pokemon Go. So those of you that have been participating in that, there's like
a lot of electric boys. So there's a little, is it Tynamo? The little eel boy.
Oh yeah, Tynamo.
So there's those. There's a lot of Blitzels. So if you didn't have a chance to catch little shiny zebra, they're out there. Just keep clicking on them. Electric, or I don't know if I say him right.
Electric?
Yeah, is it Electric?
Pretty sure it's Electric. And then it evolves into Manectric.
Yeah, Manectric. So like right now, Manectric's out for the Mega Raids. You could try to fight him, get that Mega Candy, and then you could potentially run into a shiny form of him. But you could at least potentially run, like, I actually ran into the shiny form of Electric. So I was like, okay. Yes. And again, it was just as I was driving, shouldn't say I was driving, but as I was maneuvering through the neighborhood,
I was in a
I was in the passenger side. So and I clicked it, and it just happened to be blue,
right.
and I was just like, "Yes,
I set
queen."
my Tesla to auto drive so I could play Pokemon Go.
Yeah, so I got that, but again, it's nice because there's a new little Pokemon. How do you say his name? It's little
Deden?
Deden? Okay.
Deden.
Deadass.
Deadass.
But
that's what I would call it.
He's out, so it's cool. So again, capture those boys, trade them with yourselves, try to get a lucky one.
It's a little lightning hamster.
Yeah, it's like an electric fairy type, which could be interesting in some of the cups. Because again, like I remember, I forgot which cup it was, but I was using the Pop Star Pikachu because it has charm, and I was just going through and just wailing on people because people thought Pikachu didn't have charm, and I was
spoiler alert. Which is not really a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
Fairy type is very strong in
in a lot of the cups. So again, that's going on.
I think Deden, and I don't quite know the stats on it, but it seemed really interesting. I forgot that they did loop it in fairy type as well. So
they did.
Yeah. So you got that going on. Now Giovanni is kind of back with
Shadow Lugia.
Lugia. Which is pretty cool.
But it's not the Shadow Boy that we've tried to say.
It's not Gale of Darkness Shadow.
Yeah, like look at if you get the comparison of the two, like Niantic kind of did us a disservice by doing it this way.
In Gale of Darkness or whatever, it's basically Shadow Lugia is like its own Pokemon. It's not quite Lugia with just dark eyes. Which
would have been dope to do. Again, they should have done it.
Well, it's not like they can't, right?
They
like,
need to
do
come on, Niantic.
Different forms of Pokemon, different things.
They can make shinies any color they want.
Yeah.
Niantic.
The only thing they can't do apparently is make another fucking AR game. So,
well, I think they just realized that Pokemon is the one.
Well, I mean, Pokemon. I mean, to be fair, Pokemon is like if you're going to make a game that you want to be globally successful, Pokemon is the perfect IP to pair with. The other one that I'd say has actually been really successful recently.
What
is League of Legends? Like if they figured out how to do like a League of Legends AR game. I don't know how that would work.
I don't know either.
But like, if they figured that out, I feel like that would be wildly successful as well.
Well, and
because anything Riot Games touches is
gold.
Kind of golden.
Well, and
shouts to Arcane on Netflix.
My hope is that with Pokemon Go, because again, I've actually with all these events, I've actually been trying to find more ways to pair it with like Sword and Shield and Pokemon Home.
Yeah.
And I talked about it last time in the podcast with the Furfros and using the evolution or the trims to get a lot of rare Pokemon and shiny Pokemon. So if you're one of those people that is cross platforms with Pokemon, like that's a fun outlet to do if that's something that interests you.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm curious because again, I'm just hoping like the other reason why I'm kind of stocking up on all these shinies in Pokemon Home is with the hopes that Niantic at some point is like, hey, let's allow you to transfer a Pokemon from Home or another system to Go, but maybe at not like a high frequency, maybe like once a week, kind of like the Meltan box.
There's you can only send them into Home, like
specific
ones that, like if you caught a bunch of shiny Dark, for instance, you can't do anything with those except for shred them with Professor Willow or send them to Home, which the latter there is probably the better choice. However, it takes up a lot of that energy.
So
it's like
a lot of
of
so when it comes to transferring stuff to Home, if you're doing all regular, non-shiny, non-legendaries, it might be like a day to recharge. If you have a mix of legendaries and shinies, the max I've seen is like 7 days. 7 days. But it takes that time, which is very frustrating because for me, there's a lot of shinies like I've talked about. Like nowadays, I'm getting more than like 20 shinies in community days, which again is not first world problems. Oh my God. But it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe if I could just transfer these guys to Home, I'll just send them out into the world and let other people enjoy shinies in their games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I'm doing. It just sucks that it's taking 7 days between each interval to be able to send them out.
Right.
Which sucks. Because I'm just like, all right, these guys are just sitting in Pokemon Go. But at some point again, as Go advances into the different generations, I want to see more interactions with Pokemon Home and the other systems.
Yeah.
Because I remember people saying, it's never going to interact, I'm not going to waste my time, and now it does, and I'm like, bitch, that's bullshit.
Well, it's kind of like, it's like Pokemon interactivity is part of one of the kind of staples of the entire Pokemon IP.
Mm-hmm.
It's like why people were upset with Sword and Shield, for instance, at first because they didn't have the full decks, and they're still not the
That
full
was
decks.
still dumb.
But like a lot of people were upset about that because they've been using the same like main team or same Pokemon on their main team.
Change that shit up.
Since like 2011 or some bullshit. And there's
Sure.
been ways to get your Pokemon from A to B.
Oh yeah,
all the way back from like when you played on the original DS.
Like the transfer cycle for that's insane.
Switch. But anyway, so there's like ways to do that. So the internet connectivity is very important to Pokemon, and I think it's like another thing that shines with it, that makes it like such a great IP in general. Which is why we want to see Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home interactivity and things like that. Because it's kind of like having Apple products, right? Like just because you have Apple products doesn't necessarily mean that you have the better products, but they do work very well together. So it's like, hey. Like right now, you're drawing porn on your iPad, right? And then you want to take it on the go. It's really simple to get it onto your iPhone. Like in fact,
like why are you exposing me like this? Photos, like the fuck?
Your photos or whatever are already interconnected. You don't even have to transfer. You can just open up your iPhone and you're like, oh yeah,
there's my smut right there.
It's right there. That's really cool, and vice versa. Everything. And I was like, I want to watch this porn on a larger screen. And I just go to my iPad, and it's just like, oh, it's right fucking there. I love it. And then you're like, you know what? I need a bigger screen. So then you send it to your iMac, which is like 26 inches or something. And you're like, that's not big enough. Apple TV to my 65-inch TV.
And I think that kind of pairs into like what Pokemon or what Nintendo's doing now when they're going to be releasing, what was it, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Yeah, BDSM. Pokemon BDSM, right? Oh, fuck. BDSP. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Maybe would have thought about that a little bit harder.
The branding
the
for
only reason
like
is
someone.
So I was on Twitter and that was trending. BDSP was trending, and I was like, "What the fuck is BDSP?" It's like, what is it, like bondage? I'm trying to remember, discipline or whatever, sadomasochism, SM.
Sure.
So with SP, I was like, what is P gonna be? Pet play or something like that? And I was like, you click on it. Piss play. I mean, could be waterworks. But anyway, go into Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. I was like, oh, it's just people complaining about Pokemon. That's Pokemon fans 101. That's just how it goes. So,
I was just like,
well, I mean, Pokemon fans are the hardest to please.
They really
gonna please all of them.
Well, it's again because there's so much nostalgia involved.
Oh, absolutely,
so
and like that's what makes it. It's a very powerful and great IP because there's that nostalgia factor. People, the Gen 1er only people versus me, who
everyone
I love all
else.
the new gens. And whatever, I loved Sword and Shield. I had a really fun time with it. The fucking battle music's popping. Like every time I'm in the gym, I'm just like, oh my fucking god, this is great. I don't care. So moving on. They are releasing Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's already out or whatever. People are
is that game out for Nintendo already?
For the Switch.
Okay, shit. Well, I know for Pokemon Go itself, Pokemon Go is going to have like their own event starting, I think, November 16th.
Yeah.
And it's going to go for a couple of days. But with that, there'll be infographics coming out, I'm sure. I think, stadiumgaming.gg has a really good infographic for it. So go check that out. But it has, like, there's going to be a lot of, again, the return of the hats. For Sinnoh region. So they get little cute hats. I think there's 2 different variations of the hats. So that's just more shinies that you have to try to get, which is annoying if you're one of those shiny hunters like myself, because then I'm like, I gotta hunt. The other thing is you have the opportunity, if you want to get Cresselia, that'll be back in raids. So right now we have the Swords of Justice. So Teriyaki Boy Verizon, and Kabu Modern, or whatever you want to say.
Ah, yes.
But they're out there.
Cobalt SS.
Yeah, Cabalian. But you have those boys out, but then you're gonna get Cresselia back, and then I think for the Mega Form will be is it what's the bunny?
Which bunny? Like a Baneri that evolves into
I forgot the final form. The ultimate furry.
The one that gets Rule 34 all the time?
Stop.
I'm serious.
No, I don't doubt it. But yeah, that one will be back.
Lopunny.
Yeah. That one will be back for that. But one of the major things that the event has is that I guess for the regular incubators, it's half the distance. For the super incubators, it's a third the distance. Like, to get it to hatch.
So don't even
waste your fucking time on super incubators. Please Save those for actual like strange eggs, the 12Ks, and things like that.
Stranger eggs.
But save those. I would highly recommend that. Just use your fucking regular infinite incubator and whatever you want to do.
I only use that.
If you have those phone rockers, now is the time. Or again, if you haven't been opening your eggs, bitch, open them once the event starts. Justin, since you don't open your fucking eggs, but or your gifts or whatever, but they'll have those boys out there. Also, be what?
I did not take advantage of opening 45 gifts a day.
Do that now. Like, open up your fucking game.
True. I'm still gonna advocate for Niantic to just make that permanent. Maybe 50 gifts a day.
I think 50. Like it to me, especially when you have 400 plus, you can have 400 friends.
Why can you have 400?
Why not? Why not?
You know 400 people?
I did, and then I deleted a bunch because they don't open their gifts.
I hardly have. I think I still have.
Like right now, I'm sitting
50
at.
on my friends list.
I'm sitting at like 340 right now, and like I'm proactively trying to open up gifts.
Well, okay, yeah, it doesn't help that you have a fucking orphanage on your friends list, but whatever.
Rude. But like going back to the BDSP event. There's also going to be a lot more field researches. Again, if you're one of those people that shiny hunts like me, there's going to be an opportunity for the Burmese. So the trash one, the yellow one, the pink one, because those ones I think are really hard to find. But I don't know why they call them trash. Like,
because it's from the city.
It's like cotton candy.
It's from the city.
But they're like, he's trash. I'm like, he's cute.
It's the trash cloak because he's on the streets. Okay?
From the streets. He's raised by the streets. His mom is the streets.
You know, where you have to fight fucking rats the size of dogs.
Just rattatas.
Yeah.
Radicottis.
Radicati.
I still will never forget that at Utah Park. But there's also the opportunity to potentially get... Oh, the other cool thing that they're going to be doing for it is you have the opportunity to run into with the field researches, the shiny dinos. So you get Cranidos or what's the other boy? Shieldon?
Yep.
So those will be two that you can potentially do the field research for to find a shiny. If you miss that opportunity. As well as Larvitar, I guess, even though we've had it before. Larvitar?
No, I know. Tyrant and
Amora?
Amora?
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah. That's all I've been doing is breeding to get
Give me
Amora, like a shiny one. I'm still going. I think it must have hatched.
For those that don't know, Aurora is
400 of them.
Jack's like top 2 Pokemon.
And
it's not number 2.
Yeah. Dinosaurs are dope, so I'm like everyone should know that. But yeah, so that event will be coming. And that's something to look forward to again, something to do.
For the BDSM?
Yeah, the other thing that we'll be doing
hats
in the works as once we get past Thanksgiving, well, I'll get into that now because we're pretty much going to be this event and then the community day for Shinx are going to be like pretty much on top of each other.
Real quick on Shinx. Wow.
Okay.
Shinx.
Okay.
Tell
me the tea.
This might be difficult for some of you to hear, but Shinx was always going to be a potential community day.
Yeah.
In fact, we thought it was before they raid locked it. And so
True.
The point I'm getting at here is a lot of people spent a good chunk of money on raid passes to raid for Shinx to get the shiny Shinx.
I was one of them.
And right, which you did get your shiny Shinx.
I did. It was a really important day because when I got it, I had to tow my car. So I named it Toad Corsica to remember the day.
Interesting name for Shinx. But anyway, hey, it was just shiny Shinx, gold and black.
Yeah.
Gold and black.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
Yeah, he's dope.
Anyway, there's so it was inevitable that Shinx was going to be a community day Pokemon because Niantic is not original. And they weren't going to do something new and fun for community day this year. That's been the track record all year. So they were like, let's use a Pokemon that maybe people haven't had access to, that people haven't been raiding for, or whatever. So the point I guess I'm getting at is if you spend all that money for the Shinx raids, don't look at it as I need my money back because I spent all this money to get Shinx raids.
No.
You just spent your money to get Shinx early, which is just about every Pokemon in Pokemon Go when you pay for the raids. Like, there are some that are going to be raid locked, like legendaries. They should have just released them into the fucking wild.
Even then, I think this is another just prime example of don't let FOMO control you.
FOMO, yeah, and like, you know, FOMO is a tough thing to fight, especially in free-to-play games. Like, you know, I was gonna say Pokemon Go, Genshin Impact, League of Legends, Destiny, like those types of games.
Right.
FOMO is the business model to get you to spend money, and it works a lot of the time. And like, don't be, you know, obviously you can let FOMO get to you, but just don't feel miffed or upset that you spent money on something, because one, the game doesn't owe you shit.
Never did.
Two, that's a personal choice. There's some people that still play the game without spending a lot of money on it, and I think they do fine.
The more you know.
However, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I think a lot of people were upset.
Upsetty spaghetti?
That Shinx, Upsetty Serengeti, that Shinx is a Community Day featured Pokemon.
Well,
and I'm super excited
for I don't
it,
even know what move it gets.
Because I love Shinx.
Do you know what move it gets for it? Is it like... I feel like it's like a psychic move. Do you know? Fuck.
I do like it. I do have it up.
Can you? Yeah, I was like, I need to know.
But either
real
way,
quick.
it's coming. And I'm really excited for it. What did they actually say? What move it's gonna have?
I think they should by now.
Oh, it is. Yeah, Psychic Fang.
Okay, yeah. I was like, it's psychic
which
something.
Is fucking cool.
So
So anyway, I love Shinx. Shiny Shinx is gonna be cool. Community Day wise, you know, it's like November. It's like getting into it's the cooler months, but I think that's kind of nice for Community Day. Get out there with a hoodie, maybe a hand warmer.
Oh fuck yes!
And just kind of walk around. You'll stay warm while you're walking. You get Psychic Fangs on Luxray, which is really cool. So you couldn't raid for that. So you know that might be an incentive. You also get quarter egg hatch distance. So your incubators are worth a lot more. Don't use. I would really highly recommend don't use special or super incubators.
Never.
You can probably get away with just rolling around with your infinite incubator, but if you can get the other ones on the cheap, you maybe use those too. But that's a usually decent time to use that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, like it's one of those things. Like I said, the community seemed to be pretty upset that Shinx is there, but it's inevitable that kind of stuff happens. And I'm excited for it, and I think you should be excited for it and be happy for the other community members and people that maybe haven't had a chance at Shinx to this point.
Well, right, and I think what people should remember when it comes to Community Day is a lot of it has been Pokemon with 2 evolutions, for the most part, with the exception of Eevee, which has like 1 million, but it's just one stage. Okay. And then I think it was like Magmar and Electabuzz. I think where the other ones were, you just had 1 evolution up, and Pikachu.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's it. But the rest of them are at least have 2 evolutions, so you could look through the entire Pokedex realm and be like, what Pokemon has 2 additional evolutions, and kind of get an idea of who it could be.
That would be relevant.
Yeah, that would be relevant. That's why like people who are mad about Gibble when it first came out, they're like, oh my god, shiny Gibbles, it's not gonna be Community Day. I was like, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And it was. You know,
and it's just like I said, and then I kind of, I guess, lost faith at Niantic for doing something like
original
or exciting or whatever, because last month, you know, for October, they had the perfect opportunity to run something like Litwick as their Community Day Pokemon. That made way more sense to me than running Duskull.
Yeah,
and they ran Duskull, and you know that's fine. I love Dusclops or whatever, you know, and Dusknoir. But like, I was just like, this was a perfect opportunity for Litwick because it's still a relevant Pokemon in the generation that we're currently in for Pokemon Go, and then it's still like it would have been a really fun Community Day Pokemon. I would have tried to definitely make sure I made it out to that one. I did not make it out to Duskull, so. You know, that was, again, one of those life happens things. But either way, point being is, like, I'm not really expecting much from Niantic in regards to the Community Days. I think Community Days is another thing, like everything in the game, that needs some kind of refresh or update to it. And a lot of it is like, yes, it's grassroots. It's up to us community members and people like that like to organize those types of things, to do things for the community, but I think they can give us better tools to work with, and that kind of starts with doing something more interesting for Community Day. Because, there's a lot more people that are interested in certain Pokemon. Like I said, I feel like Litwick Community Day would have been fucking busted.
With Mimikyu being in the background as like a secondary Pokemon. They just missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Litwick Community Day would have been busted. And then...
Oh, dude. People would have been out.
But you got Duskull, which, again, fun Pokemon, cool Pokemon, not trying to downplay that.
Or again, they could have did like a duo. They could have had two.
Yeah,
like they did with Magmar and Electabuzz. That was kind of cool. They could have made it a spooky weekend and just had two ghosts.
But I feel like what they do is they run out their originality machines or whatever early on in the year, and then they just kind of coast to the end of the year.
Yeah,
so maybe next year they'll pick up on it.
Well, the cool thing they did though with all of that is that they did Day of the Dead.
Dia de los Muertos.
Thank you. I don't know why I fucked that up of all people. But they actually did do more for that event, and it got a little bit more publicity than it did in the past.
True.
Which is cool.
So I still want opportunities like that to help, like, worldwide teach people about
other countries.
And
like, Willow should have been telling us about what that was in the little missions.
Really fun. And you can do a lot of like world stories, culture.
Honestly, I think next year I'm just gonna do an event for it.
A lot of things with Pokemon, like Pokemon flavor to it. So
yeah,
there's a lot of opportunities for
that spice.
But like you said, maybe we have to grassroots it and do it our fucking selves. I think one of those that's been really great has been the event you guys have been putting on, which is like the scavenger hunt stuff. I think that shit's really cool. And in fact, we got a quick taste. Kind of the update.
Yes. So what we're gonna do is, because we had interest to do it for something more Colorado wide. Last time, some people kind of vented some frustration with like, I wish I was in Aurora to do this. I was like, technically, it's just Aurora focus. You don't have to be in Aurora to play. But I decided to open up and make it more Colorado wide. So the next iteration of it will be Cold Colorado, which will be our winter edition, basically.
Ooh, winter festivals.
It's going to focus on Colorado cryptids. So if you know what a cryptid is, it's basically an unidentified, some weird Justin, but also just like creatures that don't really fit in the parameters of what you would see in nature.
Right.
And they're usually
like
associated. Yeah, technically, it'd be a lore creature.
Okay.
That, like the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, those are considered cryptids.
Wendigo?
Wendigos, and other stuff that you would hear in like creepypastas and things of that nature, especially coming out of the spooky season. Spooky. And because I love spooky seasons, I love horror, I love all those things that go bump in the night to a degree. Again, I do like to sleep. But
to a degree.
We're going to do another scavenger hunt for that, so there'll be more details coming out for that in the near future.
Keep your eyes peeled, literally.
Just,
anyway,
oh my god!
So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, that's an example of a grassroots event that we can tie in Pokemon, but also learn about your culture, your kind of
And if you're in another state, definitely hit me up on like Instagram, JackJack1620. Shoot me a message and be like, what would you suggest for my area? And I love helping people brainstorm shit. So if you just need someone to be in your corner and be like, you got this, shoot me a fucking message and I would love to help you.
It's true. # big booty bitches.
No doubt.
But no, yes. For real though, like you reach out because you very creative mind. You do some really awesome stuff. Make some great advertisements and stuff. But like, I feel like a lot of people can start to take those things on and work in collaboration and things like that. And we're always happy to help out and try to at least lend parts of our expertise out if we have the time and energy to do so.
Yeah.
But
we're still people too.
Yeah. At the very least, all it takes is a little bit of a reach around, and
reach around.
That's right. It's just, please not during November. I know that November is a very popular thing, but please do.
And please shave.
It might be.
Don't be looking fucking rough. Well, you got some bedhead going on, but it's okay.
It's there.
I like the little.
That's just my nuance.
Hey, don't.
Bro. I'm not taking shit from nobody.
No, treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Actually, in fact, do treat yourself.
Yeah, November can be a really trying time. I know it is for my family right now.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Mental health is a big fucking deal.
Yeah, take it seriously.
A lot of people, maybe you can't go celebrate with your family this year, or maybe you can with your friends. You still got yourself. And again, if you're ever feeling depressed and shit, reach out.
Please.
Just be like, hey, catch a movie, do whatever, do small.
Don't watch a movie.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself to do something for Instagram likes or Facebook likes. Who gives?
Also,
yeah.
I will say something real quick.
Okay.
Not necessarily related, but if you're going to the movies, because we've been going to the movies a lot.
Oh, fuck yes.
There's been a lot of fun movies out, and I do love going to the movies. I like supporting Century 16.
Oh, yeah, Movie Tavern.
Their movie club, so I get a free ticket every month and all this other bullshit. But
sponsor us, Century 16.
Please. I mean, I would gladly take that. But anyway, we've rented theaters with them a couple times now, which is a really nice experience.
Oh, yes.
And to that point, what I was going to say is, when we decide not to rent a theater and go see a movie, if you are a little on the younger side, or you have kids on the younger side that you're letting go to the movies, can you please teach them a little bit of theater etiquette, movie etiquette, like stomping up and down the fucking stairs during the entire movie, going back and forth in your fucking chair all the time, talking, being on your phone, etc. Just don't do it. Like, other people are also paying to be
yeah.
And like, I typically don't like let that shit bother me. I'm so focused on the movie, but when I start to get bothered, I know other people are already feeling it. So
it's true.
I would highly recommend and I request that we get theater.
No, that is Justin. You are absolutely 100% correct. That I know. Even at my house, that's one of my biggest pet peeves is people talking when I'm trying to watch my show, and I do like everything. Like my body language is leaning forward. I'm like staring at the screen, and then like someone will come talk to me, and this is me just like, what?
Pay attention to this thing, but
yeah,
I
and I'm just like,
about something real quick. Did you know at King Supers, I saw 4 gallons of milk on sale?
And I was like, shut the fuck up!
You know,
but like that's kind of the level of shit. But at Century 16, I know that when we went to go see Eternals, the dude next to me just like kept talking, and I'm like, bruh.
Oh shit, that's the dude from the comics. It's like,
yeah, and I'm like,
a comic movie, bro. Like,
and I was just getting mad. So like, and again, I'm trying to get better about that. I was just like, breathe, Jack, don't slap this bitch. Like, breathe.
Yeah. Just a little bit of etiquette. That's all I ask.
Yes.
Like, and I don't. I know that those people, that person, paid to see the movie just the same. They can.
I didn't pay for extra sound effects.
It's the same when I'm like, when we go watch movies with CJ. CJ gets a little loud. He
does get rambunctious.
He likes to literally laugh out loud at the movie. And sometimes it's a little jarring because you're like, CJ, like, I respect you, but you're ruining this for the 10 people around us.
I've literally had to tell my mom, like, hey, you don't have to react to everything out loud. And she just looks at me. She's like, okay.
Scary movie 2 or scary movie in the theater? When she's in the theater and they're like, she's like on the phone and stuff.
Oh, it was Scary Movie 2. And she's like, no, it was Scary Movie 1. She's like, oh shit. And she like pulls out her phone, Brenda, and she's just like talking on the phone the whole time. She's like, yeah, I'm just in Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Please, for the love of God.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying. But regardless, movies have been pretty fun. I've been enjoying it.
I went to see Antlers, Eternals. Like, you went and saw the 007.
Yeah, No Time to Die.
Loved
it. Saw I did not see the Green Knight in theaters. I did want to see that.
You saw the My Hero one.
I was gonna say, the last duel.
Ridley
Scott, kind of medieval time piece. That was a good movie, a little underrated. You had the My Hero movie. We did see that. which we saw that in Movie Tavern actually. I hadn't been there in a hot minute. That was
Yeah.
kind of nice. We even got little mangas with that and shit.
It was
really
actually cool.
Yeah, so we've been seeing a lot of movies. That being the case, and so it hasn't been the case in all of them that we've had interruptions.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as maybe I'm making out the scene, but it can be bad.
When it happens, it's
you're just, like,
memorable.
jarring. It's just like, okay, now I kind of want to go rewatch.
Like, you don't need to be a Karen level of like
That
screaming
movie.
at someone for being loud. Be courteous still.
Yeah,
But at the same time, be courteous to others who are in the theater
yeah, please.
in general.
But treat yourself. No Nuance November. And again, if you're
Top
struggling,
tier.
whether it's mental health or anything else, feel free to reach out, talk to somebody. Even if you don't ever feel like you're being a burden, because you're here and we want you here. And love you. So, you got anything else for the people? For the culture?
For the culture, a couple, I guess, no nuances that I can think of, like my top 5 shit that I'm just like done with. In general,
Okay.
is again bring us Mimikyu.
Niantic,
I'm
please.
tired.
Where the fuck is
I'm
Mimikyu?
tired of these games that we are playing. Like,
Preach.
I'm tired of it. In terms of Pokemon itself, I just give me that fucking infinite bag.
Infinite bag.
I want more opportunities to get coins,
Shiny
if
charm.
anything.
Coins.
I want something better with the raids.
That's
Honestly,
what I'm
as
saying.
like
Raid system
the
needs an update.
raids are just sitting here now. Like I'm not enthused. Like
You're not ready for Teriyaki Boy?
I love Teriyaki Boy, but the
don't
crappy
need it?
part is like I literally, like, if I hop into a raid now, like I'm just like, who's really gonna answer the call? And not many people really want to, because these Pokemon have cycled in so many times.
Yeah,
like
true.
I think they should be doing stuff. Like I think right now for the Swords of Justice, they gave them all Sacred Sword as the move, but I think we need to be seeing newer moves. So like when Lugia came back, he had Aero Blast. Like I want to see
Fair.
some sort of like Tall Tale or some epic new move, even if it's not canon to the game, whatever you want to say. Niantic, make up moves. Like, you have that fucking power.
Give it a
Why
uniquity
not?
that I'd rather I'd be
Something
happy to try
I'd
to
make
chase.
it worth. Yeah, make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Make a new shiny variant
Well,
for it.
to use trading cards as an example, like Pokemon or Magic or otherwise. Like there's in every set that they release, and they release sets very fucking frequently. It's like it
Hell
seems
yeah,
like
they
every
do.
month there's a new set, or every other month at the very least. In every set there's a chase card, right? There's the most expensive card in the set or whatever that people want. Usually it's like Charizards or Mews or whatever, depending on what the set is based on or whatever. I think the newest one, a bunch of good Mews in there.
Yes.
Those are chase cards. So a lot of people go buy packs because ripping packs is a lot of fun, and they're looking for the Mew. If they get the Mew, that's when they get hype beast. They get super excited. Give me a reason to chase raids, because right now it feels like I'm going to the dollar store and buying the repacked Pokemon cards for cards that I already know I have or don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Rather than going and buying sealed new product Pokemon because I'm chasing that card. Like, give me a reason to go to raids. Right now, recycling the same Pokemon with the same moves isn't fun. And I am a proponent of being able to give people opportunities that they may not have had earlier, especially if they're newer to the game, or maybe they just weren't playing at the time people have left and come back.
Yeah.
But I think there should be a bonus to keep your players that are in the game still there and wanting.
Honestly, I kind of feel like Niantic should do something like, it's called a raid ready roster.
Okay.
To where if you want to, kind of like your online status,
Mhm.
if you're like, hey, I'm raid ready this hour, as soon as it starts, someone raid ready, you get like 3 of them you can raid ready, and they just automatically join.
Right.
Instead of that shit. So it's like kind of like a battle invite. It's just like, hey, you said you're raid ready, someone has a raid, you down, you just hop in, it automatically takes you to the lobby. No more of this, like, let's see the animation, let's click this. I want it to be raid ready. Like, shit like that.
There should be better, communication in the game. Like,
Yeah.
you literally have a device, like on your phone, your smartphone, even the cheapest smartphones nowadays. This is like a $500 quote budget.
Oh, I was like, wait.
It plays just fine. I've got the high refresh rate. Everything looks crisp on my game.
Okay.
And I don't have any like GPS problems. I don't have connectivity problems or whatever. If you really wanted to, if you really could, you could find me I'm on this device, and you can find out a ton of information just based on my phone being on. So what I'm saying is, Niantic, you can put it in your game to where you have other trainers in the area, and like you said, there could be a bubble above their head that says "raid ready," or like you actually utilize your fucking notification system to be like, "Hey, this raid's ready. There's 4 people in this," as a notification, as opposed to me tapping on the fucking gym to see, "Oh, there's 4 people in the lobby. I tried to join. Oh, there was like 10 seconds left in the lobby. I couldn't join in time. Now I'm in this raid all by myself." And I'm just kind of like the saddest hand job I've ever given myself. So, I'm just like, struggling here. Like, there's better communication tactics just to utilize the system that's already in play. That's before, and I think the system needs to be updated in general. But it's just like, I think the communication in the game needs to be updated to help facilitate all that. And, we've been advocating for being able to ping my lucky friends that I don't honestly know in person because I met them at GoFest,
and especially as other branches of Niantic start to close, like Harry Potter.
Oopsie.
Take some of the gold that Harry Potter had, like they had automatic gift giving things in that.
Mm-hmm.
They had other features that others talked about in the game that I was like, damn, why don't we have that in Pokemon? Now's the time, because I think Niantic could, obviously they want to do more with just their systems. You were looking at something with the metaverse where they're going to be able to potentially mod the game at some point.
Right.
Like, there's things that are happening, and I kind of like collect your mind, like maybe this Thanksgiving, Niantic, you guys should come together around your table with kind of as you're holding stuff over us peasants playing Pokemon and be like, what can we bring to these people that would make them be like, man, I'm really thankful I have this fucking
And I'm
game.
going to go back on this, and I think one of the biggest issues that Niantic has been having in general is, like, they don't have competition. No one is in their space that can compete with Pokemon Go. The only other games that compete with Pokemon Go that are out there are games that Niantic themselves have been publishing.
Challenge would make it worthwhile. They tried
with Jurassic World or whatever that Jurassic.
Isn't Jurassic World still around?
I think it is, but I can't imagine the numbers are very high on it.
Yeah.
Comparatively, and they so
I did have my
Niantic does come out with Wizards Unite. They just came out with this new Pikmin game. I think they're working on a Transformers game. I have no idea how that will work in the AR space. But my point is, Niantic is the one coming out with all of these games, all of these potential competitor games, and competition breeds like innovation. And by that I mean you want to be better than your competitor. You see that shit all the time with car manufacturers. Once a luxury car comes out with something like way back in the day, like heated seats and a heating steering wheel or whatever, that's a luxury car feature. And then now every fucking car out there has a winter package with heated seats and a heated steering wheel because it was such a hit with the Mercedes-Benz, with the BMWs of the world back in like the 90s or whatever. So like that competition
makes the heart grow fonder.
Competition makes the heart grow fonder.
Intriguing.
But really though, what it does is it would push Niantic into a space that they want to be in. So like again, you see it with other video games. You see it between like game consoles like Xbox and PlayStation.
True.
For instance, there's always like console fanboys and
girls.
Fan people.
Fan folks.
Yeah, fan folks. And there's always like a competition, like, well, this hardware is way more powerful, but this one has all the games, and then there's pros and cons to each, but they push each other to be better. Versus, like, if there's only one thing of that on the scene, there's not really a lot of competition that they have to fucking worry about, And Niantic, they're not quite Disney level where they just buy everyone out, buy all their competition out, and just rule from the top because they don't have competition to buy out yet. So, I think that's one of the biggest issues, and I think having a competitor would be nice. So, getting back to what you were talking about or alluding to, Niantic did just release the development kit for the base AR stuff that they use in Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom, which is the new game.
Okay.
So, what that means to me is, like, a lot of people that are, way smarter than I am, can code or whatever, can get in there, use that development kit to either make their own AR games or their own AR things, AR features, or even make mods to things like Pokemon Go. And they're like, well, here's base Pokemon Go, and here's my modded Pokemon Go. And by mods, like, if you're not familiar, in like a lot of video games that do have mods, like Skyrim, for instance, one of the most popular games ever created. They've re-released it about 1 billion times in the last 10 years. PC modders were able to integrate fishing into the game. It didn't have fishing natively.
Like,
so there's a mod to
okay,
so
I was
fishing,
like,
fishing is
I was
really,
like, which fishing?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, like actually like going out with a rod. And
okay,
fishing.
I was just like,
fishing's very popular and like this has RPGs because it's kind of
it's a fun passive activity.
But anyway, there was a mod about fishing. Well, the newest version of Skyrim came out. It's like their 10-year anniversary edition of the game or whatever.
Okay.
It has that mod, that fishing thing built into it. Because someone made it and it was so popular, they're like, that's a feature we should have in the base game. So they came in, they grabbed that mod, and they put it into their game,
well,
and now you have it.
I think if Pokemon brings a modding feature into their ability to be like, hey, something you could do this.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be our stepping stone into Niantic, into the brainchild.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Into
so
the realm.
because and you see it all the time when Nintendo's like, I need you to like they send out the cease and desist because people will make modded or interesting versions of Pokemon with features that they think should have been in the game.
Like the ones where like the ones I've been seeing on fucking TikToks have been like people playing the modified games where they mix up all the typings and make new evolutions for things. And I'm like,
exactly.
What the fuck am I watching?
And they'll get popular because they'll have features that people want in the main Pokemon games that just still haven't come out.
That's true.
Yet. You know, you'll see the Unreal tournament the Unreal mods of like, hey, this is what Pokemon could look like if it was on like a super powerful system or if the developers actually gave a shit about graphics or fidelity. And you've seen like kind of the fan art of that.
Yeah.
Well, there's like working versions of Pokemon in Unreal, the Unreal Engine, which is your high-end engine that you'll put like other like fancy games on or whatever.
It might be time to go to the dock.
So it's like when they do that shit, there's a want for that because people keep downloading it, and Nintendo's like, that's our IP. You can't make money off of our IP. So that's when Nintendo sends out the cease and desist, and it's like, please stop fucking around with our shit. That's our money. We'll be able to decide what we want to do. But there's always that pushback. So like I said, with this release of the SDK for the AR kind of tools, I'm kind of hoping, like I said, some brilliant minds out there that are wonderful at what they do can like really kind of push on Niantic and be like, hey, this is an interesting thing, in which Niantic would be like, we'll hire you, can you integrate that into our game? Or we're impressed or intrigued by what you're doing, we would like to do something similar to that. Maybe that doesn't happen. That's my hopeful thinking, but that's why I was kind of excited about that news. Not necessarily because I want to get my hands on it, because I don't know what the fuck I would do with it. But
build.
Yeah, I would try. But the point is like there are some brilliant people that know how to use those types of tools.
Right.
And I think
but you could be
really
one of
I'm not going to. We'll see what they come up with.
Okay.
I got
well, no. I was like, say no more.
But anyway.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of stuff changing or kind of in the wind, I feel, when it comes to this.
Okay.
Very like, there's things that are progressing, people are making moves. And so again, part of no nuance is obviously like, I don't want to say don't take no for an answer, because I was like, I think that's not like a good thing to say.
Not be the right
it's not a good thing to say. But definitely just kind of don't make excuses for certain things.
Don't make excuses for certain things, and don't overtly sacrifice yourself for other things, for other people or other things. That like you're like, oh, that bothers me, but I'll just let it go because maybe they didn't mean it, or I'm bigger than that. It's like, no, that bothered you. There's a reason why it bothered you, and like make sure that shit doesn't happen. Something like that. Like, it's not. There's no excuses, and like you shouldn't be sacrificing yourself for others. You got to take care of yourself.
Okay.
You really do.
All
right. Because you deserve better. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, you deserve better because you've been giving it 110%. Even if you feel like you haven't, you're giving it 110%. There's always going to be things in your way that you have to like overcome.
And again, another baby boost to morale is that you survived a pandemic. You survived the country closing and shit going wrong. You've survived a lot of fuckery with either your family, friends.
You survived Wizards Unite.
Wizards Unite. Like, you've outlasted them.
For those that don't know, I keep making jokes about that shit.
So many people were like, it's going to destroy Pokemon.
Wizards Unite game is shutting down officially in January.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't come up with anything interesting. Harry Potter as an IP obviously super popular, not quite Pokemon popular, couldn't carry an empty game that they decided not to keep updating. So hopefully they take that into mind. They have a great thing with Pokemon Go, and I want it to be better. We want it to be better.
Yeah, I want to see this continue, but that's about it.
All right. Well, we love you.
Bye.
Enjoy. Have a good Thanksgiving. I don't know when the next.
If you enjoy Thanksgiving, you celebrate it. If you say fuck American history and all that, I support you for that because they tell us lies.
True. Well, just eat food, whatever.
Educate yourself, please. If you don't know,
drink
the history of
water
of the day. Learn, drink water, especially.
Drink water.
Eat, please.
Don't be afraid to be thirsty, and please not. Okay. That's
Thank you.
It's very therapeutic. It's good for you. Just
oh my god.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.